Now continues our story with Rabbi Yirmiyah. Before we're sitting there learning halachos out from Rabbi Yirmiyah, from the fact that if you know that Rabbi Yirmiyah wouldn't have made a mistake, he wouldn't have done something that was not permitted. Rabbi Yirmiyah davened behind Rav, who was his Rebbe. So the Gemara asks, how could Rabbi Yirmiyah do this, though? It's not so simple, actually. Because who could cause Rabbi Yirmiyah a problem? Rabbi Yirmiyah, at the end of the day, he might be a great Talmid Chacham, but he's still only an Amora. And the rule is, an Amora will never argue with who? Yup, he will never argue with a Tana. He cannot argue with a Tana. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yirmiyah and Rabbi Yirmiyah, Heichi Avinachi, we're on the last line of Chav Zayin Amud Aleph now. Heichi Avinachi, how did he do this? Heichi Avinachi, how did he do like this? V'ha Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav, but Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, his own Rebbe, L'olam al yispalel adam, for always, a man is not allowed to daven by the way, we just turned the page. We're on Chav Zayin Amud Beis now. Mazel tov to you. Chav Zayin Amud Beis. Lo keneged rabbi, not opposite of his master, his Rebbe. V'lo achori rabbo, and not behind his Rebbe. What's the reason why he's not allowed to daven behind his Rebbe? So, look, by the way, in the top Tosas. This is a chance to look at a Tosas. Look at the Tosas. The lo achore rabo, not behind his Rebbe. Pirish Rashi. Rashi explains mishum yuhura. Somehow there's like it's a gaiva. Bal gaiva. Gaiva means arrogance, meaning you think you're so hot. You're davening right behind your Rebbe. Somehow it's looked at as like you think you're hot. That's Rashi's pshat. V'yesh lefarish, and there's another possible explanation, says Tosfos, v'yesh lefarish, and there are those that explain, shenira, that it seems, I'm reading the Tosfos now, shenira, the top Tosfos on the page, which we know it means the outside, right? Tosfos is on the outside of the one. Shenira kimishtachaveh l'rabo. It seems that he is bowing to his Rebbe, because he has such reverence for his Rebbe. Keep that in mind, guys. He's such reverence for his Rebbe that he's when the student's davening behind him, it will look like he's bowing to him. And Mordechai pointed out another pshat that that there's something else that you could be simply inconveniencing your Rebbe, because just like in this story, Rav had to sit there waiting for him. That's not respectful for his Rebbe. That's not respectful. Okay, back into the Gemara. So Rav said you're not allowed to daven, not behind him, and not afterwards. And not just that, it's not just Rav, his own Rebbe, Rabbi Yirmiyah's own Rebbe, that told him that he's not allowed to daven behind his Rebbe. But Vitanya, we learned in a Brisa, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, the second line now, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Hamispala lachore Rabo, a person who davens behind his Rebbe, V'hanosin shalom l'Rabo, or he gives shalom to his Rebbe, he just says shalom aleichem to his Rebbe, V'hamachzir shalom l'Rabo, not only if he says shalom, but if his Rebbe says shalom, and he says shalom back, he says hello back, V'acholek al yeshivasa shel Rabo, and he argues with the knowledge of his Rebbe on his stature, V'ha'omer, Davar shelo shama mipi Rabo, or he says Torah that he never heard from his Rebbe. Then, if that happens, Gorem lishchina shetistalek mi Yisrael. Gorem means he causes lishchina, for the presence of Hashem, shetistalek from Yisrael, to go away from Yisrael. That's the end of the Brisa. So how could Rabbi Yirmiyah do this? How could Rabbi Yirmiyah daven behind his Rebbe? That's something that the Brisa says will cause the Shechina to leave from Yisrael. By the way, we pointed out something here. There's a beautiful thing here. We see that the Shechina rests amongst us. The Shechina should establish me Yisrael. The Shechina, the presence of Hashem, doesn't just reside in the Beis HaMikdash. Nowadays, we don't even have the Beis HaMikdash. But we see that the Shechina is not just in Eretz Yisrael, it's not even just in the land of Yisrael, but it's in Yisrael itself, in the nation of Yisrael, in all of us. The Shechina is with us. And we could, and there are ways that we could send it away. And that's why we have to avoid davening behind our Rebbe. So how could Rabbi Yirmiyah do it? Says the Gemara, shiny Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba. Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba is different. Shiny means different. Shiny Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba. The Talmud chaver hava. He was a Talmud Chaver, right? There's somebody who's called a Talmud. Talmud is called a Chaver. A Chaver is a friend. Then you get a Mishka Babel of the two, and that's called a Talmud Chaver. He was a Talmud Chaver. He was a student of Rav, but he wasn't just a full student of Rav. He was also a contemporary. He was a friend of Rav's. So he taught some things to Rav. Rav taught him. Mostly he was a Talmud, but he was also a companion of Rav. So although he had to treat him with respect, not regarding this area, not in this area did he have to give respect to him. There was no nervousness that it would look like he's bowing to him. That takes a Rav he has total honor, right? Like Tosa said, the reason why you're not allowed to daven behind your Rebbe is that it looks like you have to honor. He looks like you might be bowing to him. A Talmud Chaver, there's no reason we don't think that he's going to look like he's bowing to him. He's also a contemporary of his. A Rebbe that you have tremendous awe from, he's your Rebbe. Just your Rebbe, your pure Rebbe, that person you have tremendous awe from him, you might look like you're bowing to him. But a Talmud Chaver, somebody who's a Talmud, he's also a contemporary of his, then there's no nervousness that he's davening to him. Okay, we're going to stop this recording. I'm going to do one more. It's actually going to be the next part of the Gemara that we haven't yet done.